This table I'm sitting at, I built it in 1978, solid oak. Took me 3 months. There's a small plaque underneath with my name and the date. This table will be here 100 years after I'm dead. Your Instagram account stays active for about 6 months after you die. Then it's deleted, forgotten. Like you never existed. 6 months. That's the lifespan of your digital legacy. I'm 104 years old. I'll be dead soon. Maybe this year. Maybe next month. So this is my testament. Not of money. Of truth. About what actually lasts after you're gone. December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor. 2,403 Americans killed. The next day, I went to the recruitment office. Enlisted. I was 20 years old. I could have stayed. Worked in a factory. Avoided it. But I asked myself a question. If Germany and Japan win this war, what world am I leaving behind? A world where my children, if I ever had them, grow up under fascism. Where my country no longer exists. Where freedom is erased. 16.1 million Americans enlisted in World War II. 73% were volunteers. Not drafted. They chose. Historical research asked them, why? The number one answer wasn't glory, wasn't adventure. It was to ensure there would be a future. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, wrote 2,000 years ago. What we do now echoes in eternity. I didn't fight for me. I fought so there would be eternity. So America would continue. So the next generation would exist. Legacy isn't what people say about you at your funeral. Legacy is the world you leave behind, the structures, the freedom, the country, the values. 405,399 Americans died in World War II. They didn't die to have streets named after them. They died so America would survive. That's legacy, sacrificing yourself so something bigger continues. I see young people today, 25, 30, 35 years old. No kids, no plans to have them. Why? I want to travel first. I want to find myself. I'm not ready. Ready for what? To continue the human species? We landed on beaches under machine gun fire at 20. You're not ready to have a child at 30. In 1960, the average American woman had 3.7 children. Today, 1.6. You know what replacement rate is? 2.1 children per woman. America is at 1.6. Below replacement. For the first time in history, an entire generation is not replacing itself. I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm saying you inverted the question. My generation asked, what world am I building for the next generation? Yours asks, what does the world owe me before I build anything? And that's why you're not building. Plato, Greek philosopher, wrote 2,400 years ago about immortality. He said humans seek immortality 2 ways. Through works that endure, and through children who continue. You're doing neither. You optimize your life, your comfort, your experiences, your self-actualization. And in the end, you leave what? An Instagram account deleted in 6 months. No children, no students, no community you served. Just a resume of places you went and things you bought. Ancient Romans had a phrase, damnatio memoriae, damnation of memory. It meant erasing someone so completely it's like they never existed. You're doing that to yourselves, voluntarily. Let me show you what actually lasts. 4 kinds of legacy, and none of them are digital. I taught my neighbor's son carpentry when he was 16. In 1985, he came every Saturday morning. 2 years. Today he's 55. Still builds furniture. He taught his son. Who's teaching his son? 3 generations of carpenters because I spent Saturday mornings with a boy. The Jewish Talmud says, whoever teaches his son teaches not only his son but his son's son, and so on to the end of generations. That's legacy. You have 8,000 followers. How many people did you actually teach something? How many people are different because you were in their life? Followers don't count. People you formed do. Anthropological research shows a person is remembered for 2 to 3 generations if they built relational legacy. Less than 1 generation if they didn't. Your great-grandparents, do you remember them? Know their names? Probably not. Unless they formed you directly. Remember this table I'm sitting at? Built in 1978, oak. 3 months of work. There's a plaque underneath, made by name, 1978. This table will be here 100 years after I die. People I'll never meet will eat at it. I also built a church pew in 1985, oak. The plaque says, "In memory of Pepe, my friend from war, by name." That pew will seat generations. Ancient craftsmen signed their work. Not for ego, for accountability. Because they knew, this will outlive me. It has to be good. What are you building that will be used 100 years from now? A PowerPoint presentation, a social media campaign, a Zoom meeting. Digital work evaporates. Physical work endures. In 1950, 97% of men aged 25 to 54 worked with their hands. Today, 23%. You optimized for convenience and lost permanence. I was a deacon at my church for 40 years. I didn't preach. I set up chairs, fixed the roof, greeted people, Tuesday nights, every week, 40 years. When I die, that church will still be there, serving people I'll never meet. Because I gave my Tuesday nights for 4 decades. Cicero, Roman philosopher, wrote about old age. He said, "Old age with purpose is one that left deep roots in the community." It doesn't matter how many years you lived, it matters how many roots you left. Robert Putnam documented a 50% decline in civic participation since 1970. Fewer people in clubs, churches, groups, volunteering. Not because they don't have time, because they chose not to invest. What institution are you building? You don't join churches, don't join civic groups, don't volunteer. You consume communities, you don't build them. When you die, what institution will be weaker because you're gone? None. Because you never invested in any. My grandfather taught me to pray. My father taught me to work. My mother taught me to serve. I taught the same things to my wife's nephew. He's teaching his daughter now. Faith passed down 4 generations because someone decided this matters more than comfort. The Bible in Hebrews chapter 11 speaks of transgenerational faith. It says, "By faith Abel offered a sacrifice, and even though he is dead, he still speaks." Abel died thousands of years ago, but his faith still echoes. That's legacy. Your faith outliving your body. Psalm 78 says, "We will tell the next generation the praises of the Lord so they do not forget." Passing faith forward isn't optional, it's a command. Pew Research, 29% of Americans under 30 have no religious affiliation. In 1990, it was 11%, a 164% increase in 1 generation. What are you passing forward? Your Netflix password? Proverbs 13 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." Not financial inheritance, inheritance of character, of faith, of values. You're not passing faith forward. You're ending the line. Remember what I said at the beginning. 6 months. That's how long your Instagram stays active after you die. Let me show you what that means. Facebook has an estimated 30 million dead user accounts. Most haven't been accessed in years. Your viral post from 2024. Nobody will remember it in 2027. The TikTok that got 2 million views? Gone, buried under 500 billion other videos. Meta's policy. Accounts of deceased people can be memorialized, but they require a family request, and even then, they freeze. If nobody requests, eventually deleted, your digital legacy depends on someone caring enough to fill out a form. You spend 7 hours a day building digital legacy. That's 2,555 hours a year. In 10 years, 25,550 hours. 3 full years of your life, building something that disappears 6 months after you die. I spent 40 Tuesday nights a year at church, 1,220 hours total. That church is still standing, will stand for 100 more years. You spent 25,550 hours on content that evaporates. I spent 1,120 hours on a building that endures. Which of us built a legacy? Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, wrote, "Soon you'll be ashes or bones." A mere name at most. And even that name is just a sound, an echo. He wrote that 2,000 years ago, and we still read him, because he built ideas, not posts. Heraclitus said, "Character is destiny." Your legacy isn't what you posted, it's who you were and who you formed. Here's the test. Picture your funeral. Who's there? Not who follows you online, who shows up when you're dead. At my wife's funeral, person after person stood up. They didn't talk about her career, her achievements, her successes. They talked about Tuesday afternoons when she babysat their kids for free, the meals she brought when they were sick, how she remembered their birthdays for 30 years, presents, service, love. That's what they remembered. At your funeral, what will they say? Great Instagram aesthetic, really good at personal branding, or will they say, changed my life, taught me, was there when I needed them? Anthropological studies show the average person is remembered for 80 to 100 years if they left strong legacy. 2 to 3 generations. Without legacy? Forgotten in 20 to 30 years. 1 generation. Will your great-grandchildren know your name? If you died tomorrow, would the world be measurably different? Would a child lose a mentor? Would a church lose a servant? Would a friend lose the one person who actually showed up? Or would the world just scroll past your death announcement in 6 seconds? This table I'm sitting at, built in 1978, took me 3 months. It'll be here when I die. My great-grandchildren, if I had them, would eat at it. People I'll never meet will use something I built. I'm 104 years old. I'll be dead soon. And I'm not afraid. Because I know what I'm leaving. I'm leaving a nephew who knows how to build. A church that's still standing. A table my great-nephew will eat at. A pew where generations will sit. A generation of people who know what commitment looks like. That's not much. I'm not famous. I didn't change the world. But I changed some people. And they're changing others. That's legacy. Ecclesiastes says, a good name is better than precious ointment. Your name, your reputation, your character lasts longer than your wealth, longer than your achievements, longer than your possessions. You have time. I don't. You can still build something that lasts. But you have to invert the question. Stop asking, what do I get before I die? Start asking, what do I leave when I'm gone? Teach someone something, anything. Spend Saturdays with them for a year. Join something bigger than you. Church, civic group, volunteer. Serve for decades. Build something physical. With your hands, that will outlive you. Have children. Not when you're ready. You'll never be ready. Do it scared. Pass your faith forward. If you don't have faith, find it. Then give it away. Your Instagram will be deleted in 6 months. What will still be here in 60 years because you lived? Answer that, or die having built nothing. I built this table in 1978. It's still here, and it'll be here when I'm not. And you, what are you building?